Hello, Wanda here, Wanda Budgets and Beyond. How are you all doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. Hello. I got the story. I'm getting the AARP magazine. Not sure why, but nonetheless, they're sending them here. So I'm getting them and I'm reading these different stories in here. And great information, folks. Great information. And this is from the January, February this year report. But this story happened to someone. It says one day in late September. I don't know whether that was last year, 2023, or at some other time, but it's probably January 2023. And it's talking about cyber thieves, people getting access to this person's account, stealing them, robbing them of $4,000, which the person was able to get back in the end, etc. So it just brings to mind that we need to make sure that we are monitoring, of course, everything that's happening on our phones, uh, our email accounts, our investment accounts, our Amazon accounts, any other places that we do um, that we make purchases on. Make sure that we're checking those as often as possible. Or if we have a time frame where we want to set up to do that, then we need to do that because these type of things happen. There are lots of scammers and scamming activity that is going on just in general. So we want to make sure that we are protecting ourselves as much as possible. It gives a few tips in here also as to some things that people can do, but I'll just read a portion of it. It says, one day in late September, I woke up to an alarming text from my investment advisor. That is scary, saying he had replied to the email I sent him. And of course, the person hadn't sent him an email. And when they went to check, they had saw that someone had gotten into their account and had transferred $4,000. And so they realized at that point that they had been hacked and robbed. I'm not going to read all the story. It goes on to say, after that, then they started to go to these other accounts to see what all had going on. And he says even before the 4,000 had was stolen, he noticed he he didn't say it was a girl or boy. I'm sorry. I noticed unusual activity in my accounts. I had received fraud alerts on two credit cards within minutes, both of which the person had canceled. Uh, he went on, he checked some online accounts at a large retailer. He didn't say what the particular retailer was, but someone had placed two phones in a cart. And also and his digital wallet had a bank credit card in there that he hadn't ordered that was in a cart or the person had ordered it, etc. So just a lot of things that happened to him. The person eventually got access to the person's password for Amazon and to their email password also in two. The story goes on to say that he contacted Amazon and that was an ordeal because they didn't want to, I guess, do anything or talk with the person by phone. They wanted to do everything via email, and he was having issues with the email at one point, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff. So, yeah, it is really scary. So please just make sure that you are checking all of the things that I mentioned before with regards to your accounts. I wrote down some other things that the tips here may have said, but definitely with the email, make sure that you are changing um, your email address. You can set a time frame, however you want to do it. People say it's every 6 months. Some people may do it a little bit more. If something has happened to you before with regards to your email, you may be changing it a little bit more than often. Of course, checking all of your retail accounts. You can also, if you're not purchasing things and haven't purchased things from a particular place in a while, go and cancel that account. Remove the credit card from off of there, or the debit card from off of there, or the debit information from off of there, all the banking information off of there before you actually close out the account. Make sure that all this stuff is off of there. And sometimes these places will send you saying that you or a pop-up will happen after you do the particular deleting of the bank information, etc., card information. It will say that item has been deleted from your account. You may want to take some print out. This is just me, old school here. Print out that information saying that you took that information off, etc. Just as in case something happens down the road after you have closed the account, you can have that for backup proof that you cancel that particular account, etc. Of course, the story what goes on to say that it was time consuming to do all of this, etc. And this also plays into, of course, the person actually stole the person's identity. It may have not been, they were trying to get phones, credit card in the person's name, etc. Had it gone on and the person not noticed this, it would have probably been a big mess with um, identity theft to 1,000 degree. Some of the things that it said on here, use what I learned to fight back. Turn on automatic softwares and app updates on your computer and phone so you always have the most current fraud blocking tools. Okay. Use two-factor authentication. And, most of the banks do that. Hopefully, if you do have that, then you do that so you can say, send me a text, give me a call, punch in the number, et cetera, et cetera. So that is a good thing to do. Use two-factor authentication. Having an elaborate password. Some people don't want to have the 18-character password, etc. But I guess if you use um, maybe one of these things, the password manager, and in the story it mentions something about the password manager. Of course, you should have a unique, elaborate password, but you should also use a password manager, and it lists some of the password managers that you can look at, research, and I think there's cost associated with them. But make sure you do your research on those before you just automatically sign up for one of these to see if they have had problems or issues, see what those reviews are also too. And then, of course, make the best decision that is going to work for you. Freeze your credit at Experian, at Equifax, Experience, and TransUnion, the three credit reporting agency. And when you do this, because I've done this, if you do this, make sure that you go and undo it. Give yourself enough time to undo it before you go and apply for credit somewhere, because if you do apply for credit after you've frozen your credit, then there's no way for them to look at it, and that may cause them to say that they are going to decline your credit because they weren't able to get this, or they say your credit is declined, and now you're probably wondering why is that, because you've forgotten that you had the credit freeze on and didn't go and unlock it prior to applying for the new credit. The iPhone, if you have an iPhone, it says to turn on the Find My iPhone feature there, and create a dedicated email only for financial services and not for your work or your personal email, which is something that I'm thinking about doing, because I just have everything going to one email. So that is something else. Always email cleanup. I think just in general, um, it doesn't have anything to do with someone trying to hack into do a scam on you, but just email cleanup, because you get a whole lot of emails. A lot of them, they're fishing for information. You don't know what's going on. Sometimes email may seem as though they're from your bank or maybe a financial institution that you have your investments in, etc. And that is not the case. That is not the case. So make sure that you're doing email cleanup. And then this, as this says, you may want to have different ones. One for all your financial stuff is going to one email account, and all the stuff for work, personal, etc. is going to other email accounts if you want to do that. You'll have 3 or 4 or maybe more accounts, but if that gives you a little peace of mind and security, then that is a good thing to do. It mentioned, and I wrote these down for myself, change your passwords often. That was mentioned already. I got on here, just for FYI, unsubscribe from companies that you aren't dealing with, or you haven't made purchases with, or you just signed up for something maybe 6 or 8 months back because they had a particular deal going on, or you're just going to get a free something from them, a document or something from them, and now they've been sending you a whole lot of stuff, and you haven't even went to go back to that site, or et cetera. You may want to unsubscribe from those things, just delete them, etc. I heard something, and it's probably true, maybe with the iPhone and maybe with the Android, I don't know. But I wrote on here, trying to abbreviate stuff. Yeah, set up your phone so that only the numbers in your contacts come through, because you get a lot of scamming phone calls also into. And of course, I am sure that they will find a way to get to you, even if you do have this in place where only the numbers that are in your contact are the calls that come through to you. So of course, check your phone and If you haven't called these folks for a long period of time, etc., they haven't called you, you may want to delete them out of your phone. Sometimes you'll meet a handyman or something, and you take their number. They don't have a card. I don't know why not. And then you just being nice and generous, and you just take their number, and then 3 or 4 months go by, you don't call to, hey, say, hey, do you still do this particular type of service, et cetera, et cetera. Just delete it. I just wrote this down, maybe just for GP, but always read the fine print on something, even though something, because we see they, everyone that we're dealing with, YouTube has a new agreement, etc. A lot of us don't take the time to read it. We just hit agree and move on and make our next video and make our next content, etc. And even though something may be legal, it may sound scammy or may have some fishiness to it, so in that particular case, you may want to trust your own intuition, your own instinct with regards to that. Of course, delete emails that you aren't sure about. Delete emails that you aren't sure about. This is Security Sunday. I'm going to name this thing Security Sunday. Also, it mentioned in the story that the person changed their router password and their Wi-Fi password also into, because the story did mention that this was one of the easier ways for people to, get access to stuff. Yeah, some great information on what happened to this particular person and some of the things that we can learn from this particular person. But yeah, just be careful out here. Be careful out here. And I know that we see things online, and when we go someplace, and sometimes at the cash register they say give me your email address or your phone number so that they can, of course, send text to your phone or emails to your email account. And now you got a whole nother group of people that have your information, and they may be selling your information, etc. And then it goes on and on and on and on and on. It goes out further and further from just the one store that you dealt with and gave your phone number and or email address to, because we know that there's some information. So you're going to be getting a whole lot of email, text, etc., from a lot of places, of course, wanting to gather information on you about you, what you're buying, how often you buy, etc., etc., so that they can, you know, try to get after you, try to get after some of your coins also. And so we don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. And after this video, I am going to do some walking. Maybe I'm going to do some walking inside, so that will be another video. So you'll see me with the same outfit on. I got on my PT gear ready to go. So yeah. But thanks for being here. Once again, I am Wanda of Wanda Budgets and Beyond. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you already haven't. I do appreciate your time. Take care.